All right.
Live.
Hey, everybody. So today we're going to be talking about making ET contact. Have you made ET contact? Have you wanted to make ET contact? Where are you at with this process? What we know about this is that everyone can do it. It helps to be in a small group of loving people, right? Not naysayers and things like that, right? It helps to relax and open your mind. And what we do know is once you make that first contact experience, it leads to the next one and to the next one and to the next one. So if you're out there today and you're curious about this, this is the time to make contact. It's sort of like we're in this like the whole world, everyone's starting to talk about it. It's on the news, whatever. And so if you're listening to this, you're a pioneer, and we want you to have all the tools to tap into your intuition, to your path, to your knowing, and to your brilliance. And that can happen when you have ET contact. I want to share some statistics, and we're going to introduce who else we have. We have Alan Steinfeld here, Daniel Rekshan, and Andrew Fisher, and they're going to each detail and talk about different ways to make contact. And I just want to say, well, we can bring this slide up later, but this is, Ray Hernandez did a study and with 4,000 people, right? And when people make contact, they become more ecological. They're not afraid of death. They know their purpose in life. And get this, 50% of them experience a medical healing, a major medical healing, right? 50%. And he said this was even true with the research group that he was working with. So I don't know if it's people raise their vibration or if they're having trans-dimensional healing or if their ontological shock changes their belief system. I don't know what it is, but miracles tend to happen once we tap into things that are much greater than ourselves. And this is the hottest story on the planet right now, galactic narratives, and we invite you into it. So I want to bring on everybody now to introduce everyone. This is Daniel Rekshan, Adrian Fisher, and Alan Steinfeld. So why don't we go around and introduce ourselves? Daniel, why don't you tell them about your dream work and your app and DSETI and all the stuff that you're working on right now to bring people closer to ET contact?
Oh, absolutely. I've been inspired to explore dreams as a way of contact with the non-human world, the extraterrestrial world, and that's what brought me to work with you, Zanka, in the context of Lightnet, bringing together citizen science, because that's really one of the things that I see in the dream space needing to happen is this sense of sharing wisdom, sharing experience. And that's actually one of the perspectives that we'll bring to this dream group is the sharing of perspectives, the sense of being based in ecological, eco-psychological practices. You mentioned this sense of shifting towards a more ecological worldview. And that's something we see not only in ET contact, but also in like the intact shamanic dreaming cultures is this sense of connecting in with the earth. So that's really what we're going to do. The earth herself mediates these relationships we have with our neighboring star systems and things like that. And so we'll be, like I said, running a dream group to explore this. DSETI is the dream search for extraterrestrial intelligence. You can imagine instead of using radio telescopes, we're using dreams to look for extraterrestrial intelligence. In fact, actually, we see that 6.5% of people have had dreams of extraterrestrial contact already from a representative sample. So this is mainstream. 6.5% of people have had interactions with ETs in their dreams. I understand that there's some percent of that to actually represent true and legitimate extraterrestrial contact misremembered as dreams. And the reason why I say that is in a recent review of all the hypnotist-related materials relating to missing time and extraterrestrial contact, every single one of them says, my clients came to me thinking they had a dream, but in fact, it was extraterrestrial contact. My own hypothesis suggests that perhaps these are our dreams, they're hyper real experiences, and that they're extraterrestrial contacts. So it's something that we'll explore together, and I'm really excited to explore that with you. There's 8 weeks. We'll cover a lot. We'll cover ethical practices of dream sharing, dream incubation. So that's the process of inspiring dreams, and how to lucid dream. And we'll really set the container to dive deep into these explorations. So you'll, at the end of this course, you'll have an understanding of how to record and remember your dreams, how to have a lucid dream, how to inspire your own dreaming mind, and how to reach out, especially for the purposes of connecting with the earth, and our celestial neighbors for the benefit of the earth, to really ground our psyches into this ecological kind of deeper narrative of being good stewards. And that's really the point of it, is to become dreamers, to actually mediate the human and non-human worlds for the benefit of our society. And so with that, I'll pass it back to you, Zenka.
Well, I
Yes.
just want to add one thing, Zinka. When you have an ET dream, it's not like any other dream. You never forget these dreams, or I haven't, because most dreams you wake up in the morning and say, "What was that?" But an ET presence, I don't think they're actually dreams. I think they're altered states of reality. They enter our dream world, but all we can say about it in our language is dreams. But it's not a normal dream. It's a higher consciousness experience. So.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. That's one of the hypotheses I have, is like these are dreams at some level, but they reveal our entire world to be dreamlike in nature. And in that way, if we call them dreams, we have to reconcile our definition of dreams to being something psionic, something that creates multiple timelines and reality patterns and things like that. So absolutely, thanks for bringing that in. It's a very real thing that is
Actually, I want to do an
experienced.
interview with you about your whole thesis, but we'll not do it now. So, yeah. But
Wonderful.
thanks, Daniel. Great work.
Yeah, Daniel's gone really deep, and one of the things he's explained to me, and what we've seen in our other interviews, is that when Native Americans come together, they used to compare their dreams. They used to come together and say, "What did you dream? What did you know what I mean?" And so one of the things that we're doing, so we didn't really explain this idea of these Lightnet small groups, but let me do that since you mentioned it, and that'll give a container for us to talk about kind of what our theory is right here. So one of the things we believe, that the best way to make contact, ET contact, is small, loving, open-minded groups, like a family situation, right? Not a flyby thing, one day it's done, not reading a book about it, not like arguing with your coworkers or your families, but actually being in a family small group of loving people that are rooting for you, that are allowing you to open your mind, open your heart to this stuff, and have it, and giving people a firsthand experience. Because once you have that firsthand experience, you can feel it in your body. It's never going to leave your experience. You're going to be talking about it for the rest of your life, right? You're going to be sharing it. You become a domino in this. And so at Lightnet, we're a nonprofit, and we believe in this cycle, right? Small group of 8, pull people through, then those people then lead another small group of 8 that pulls people through, and then those people lead another small group of 8 that pulls people through, right? That's how we see this as being a fail-safe technique to really spread deep contact and deep knowing, is real experiences. And so, on July 5th, we're going to be opening up 4 groups. These are the 4 groups that we've chosen, right? Adrian's going to be channeling. Alan's going to be doing remote viewing, and they're going to talk about that right now. But we're going to invite you into these special 4 groups that are starting. I'm going to be doing ham radio. So they're starting on July 5th. You can find out more about it. Let me just share this before we go into the details. So if you go to lightnet.org, make ET contact, you can find it actually. If you just go to the homepage and scroll down, you'll see Adrian's face, ET contact, right? And here's where you can learn about all of the details that everyone's going to cover, right? The fee is $222 for 8 weeks. Half goes to the nonprofit, half goes to the guide. It's super affordable. You also are going to get a year-long subscription to Lightnet, which is $88. And that's going to be 2 workshops a month plus a hangout a month. So this is a really good deal for our first kickoff as we experiment with this. You also can get $15 off today with Making Contact 15 at checkout. So yeah. So why don't you talk, Adrian, about
Wait, before you say that, what is the link I could put in the chat on the YouTube?
Yeah, so the chat, I'll put it in our chat. So
Put it
it's
in our
just
chat, and then people are asking on the YouTube chat. And
great. So
then,
lightnet.org, you just go to lightnet.org, and I'm going to give you the specific link and also the Making Contact 15 that's going to give you that extra off, and you'll get your free membership when you sign up. So okay, so let's give the floor to Adrian. He's an incredible, he runs Awaken World. He has a whole platform for channelers. He's basically putting a $3,000 Delphi class into 8 weeks and you're going to walk out of there being able to channel for 5 strangers. Okay, so this is a hardcore education. This is a very special situation that Adrian agreed to do this small group with us because it's going to be mind-blowing. So Adrian, why don't you tell us a little bit about it from Costa Rica as you're traveling?
Yeah, so thank you. Yeah, I'm actually in Costa Rica right now. Yeah, so a little bit about myself, very business background, built a lot of companies, and was not into this kind of thing. And I had an experience about 3 years ago where I was actually taken on a ship and met these beings of light, met some ETs, and totally changed my perspective. And, I went from, sort of like in the background, yeah, I think things are out there, to, oh, they're absolutely out there and they're right here. And what happened during, sort of during and after that experience was a big opening where I was able to realize that there's dimensions and there's all kinds of life in the universe of all types. And what these beings guided me towards was a process of opening up and a way to connect with them and connect with other beings, sort of psychically, we can call it, or telepathically. And that led me towards a process where there was an opening to be an actual channel. So what a channeler does is they sort of open their energetic body and they take their consciousness and focus it to a specific place, a group of beings, a guide, their own guides, their higher self. And with that focus, they can bring through information for themselves, or verbally through others, or written, or even just to bring things into the world. And so that journey has been ongoing for about 3 years now. And what I want to do in this 8-week class is take everything that I've learned. Both, I did go to a mystery school where they taught me how to control that connection a little bit more. But actually my star family and my guides and angels as well taught me a process that I feel is very unique to channel. And that process is something that I want to wrap into this 8-week course and just practice, every week with the group. And it's, I haven't seen a practice like it. I have taken some channeling classes and things like that to help me get better at channeling. I channel for one-on-ones. I channel for large groups of people. As Zenka mentioned, I have a channel website where we put all these messages that I get, and I found other channelers. We have hundreds of channeled messages on that site, and it's www.awaken.world, and you guys can go check it out. You can see me channeling there, see what it actually looks like. But in this 8 weeks, it's definitely going to be sort of a little bit of work, but fun work. It's the work of opening up our energetic body, of sort of letting go to our preconceived ideas of what this world is and how creation works, and to let ourselves tap in to higher parts of ourselves, to our guidance teams, to our star families, and talk to them. They've been wanting to talk to you this whole time. We're in this veil where we don't remember who we are and why we're here and who we've been. And the moment that we give ourselves permission to start to go search, that's the whole point. It's a permission-based universe. So, you have to ask to get, and we're going to do a lot of asking. We're going to do a lot of getting, and we're going to take that skill and use it for good, right? So that's the part of the class from my perspective, and yeah, I'm excited about it. I think you're muted, Senka.
Yeah, it's going to be a really amazing because just like the dream course, what we know about, the Nobel scientists and whatever is that they're getting information from their dreams and from channeling. I just read a book that this girl wrote in 2 months. I mean, people spend 3 years writing a book. She wrote a book in 2 months. She's like, I just channeled it. So once you learn how to make this connection, like you said, asking for permission to connect with ETs and your guides, you're going to feel a flood of knowledge come in your life that is not of this world, right? You can't read thousands of books and get this information. It's going to come to you. And that's what's going to be so amazing. And I think there's nobody more knowledgeable and down to earth than Adrian and out of this world. So your course is going to be amazing. I can't wait to do it. Yeah. And Alan is, he's tackling one of the most profound contact methods, which is remote viewing. And he's one of the few people on the planet that is able to teach remote viewing, right? Remote viewing is, well, he's going to talk about, everyone has access to this ability, and but your belief system things makes you think that you can't, right? So if you want to be a hardcore ninja, and if you want to change your perspective on the world, if you want to understand unity consciousness through and through, being in Alan's group is going to be spectacular. You're going to be able to teach others how to do this. And there's nothing more amazing than remote viewing. Can you explain remote viewing, Alan, and how it works and why it's so incredible?
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's very much related to what Daniel and Adrian are talking about. It's getting away from the logical, linear way of thinking and opening your mind up to what's coming through consciousness. What's the flow of consciousness? And so we perceive in a non-local way. I mean, I use the example of a computer. If you didn't know there was an internet or anything like that, you would think all the information you can ever have on your computer was something someone programmed in there, right? That's what you had access to. Someone else comes along and says, I have access to information that's not on my computer. You say that's impossible. And they say, no, I'm connected to the internet. So what is that?
Awesome.
That is all the information that's non-local everywhere. And guess what? Our right brain, our nonlinear brain, which is the other half of our mind, is connected non-locally to information everywhere, anytime, past, present, or future. So the idea is, how do you get away from the old programs that say, no, your awareness is only local, and start to tap into the awareness that is non-local? And I've seen it work. I've seen people show up and not know anything about non-local reality or their right brain. And I say, okay, there's someone at a Target, draw where they're at. And somehow there's another level of perception that allows people to tune in. It's easier to tune into life forms, but there is this non-local awareness. That's one of my people.
Someone's tuning into you.
But so there is this non-local awareness that we all have access to. So I have extended that. Well, if we have access to people around the planet anytime, or we can see anywhere, past, present, and future, and that takes some work. And of course, the 8 weeks we'll be practicing how to fine-tune your inner knowing, so you know what's. Russell Targ, when he taught me this technique, because he developed it for the CIA at Stanford Research Institute, he says the biggest thing is to separate the noise from the signal. The noise is what your mind is thinking all the time, what the personality is obsessed with. Oh, where should I go eat? What do I want? This is like everyday, world and objects and images. The signal is what just boom pops into your mind out of nowhere. So the whole practice is not something you could learn, it's something you have to unlearn. It's something we really are. We are non-local, as the dreams and the channelings demonstrate. So when we get out of the way, when we stop running the program of the personality and start to access the non-local realities, we start to see things. They pop into our minds, and we can't discount that, those inner visions. And that's, like the other day I was traveling and I just had a little flash that, oh, I flashed on this bookshelf in my apartment. And it's like, oh, I wonder what that, and I get home and that bookshelf has fallen over. So we get these flashes, and it's like we have to pay attention to the signal. It's not just when you're remote viewing, the signal is talking to you all the time. That's what premonitions and psychic intuition. I mean, so this really helps develop your psychic mind, your intuitive feelings, but we're going to use this to remote view other planets and other beings after we build the skill over a couple of weeks. So we're going to hone the skill that we can see, and we're available to non-local realities, and then we're going to tune into different planetary civilizations. We're going to see who's there, or even on craft, what messages they have for us and what they want us to know about the bigger world of making contact. So it's a process of learning how to get out of the way, learning how to, what I call, see in the dark, because you're seeing with a different set of eyes and brain. You're using your brain differently. Well, most artists and creatives use their right brain anyway, so it helps to be creative. So we're going to learn how to see in the dark, how to cognize new realities, how to, and then you could, of course, use this for anything. You could see what, partner's doing. You could do this. I mean, if you can get out of the way enough, you could non-locally be available anywhere, anytime, past, present, and future. So, all right.
I actually had a boyfriend like that knew, like, he literally could feel my body wherever I was. He would literally text me like, wow, you're really nervous right now, or this, that. And I'm like, how is this possible? This is amazing that you're going to teach this. And I can't believe you're going to other planets. I want to do this.
Yeah, we're going to other planets. And when we've gone to other planets in remote viewing class, it's amazing how similar people's visions are. So we went to like one planet, and we, and I said, this looks red. The atmosphere looked red, and everyone said, yes, it's very reddish. The beings are red, and so, some beings are friendly. Some beings don't want you there. They're aware that we are watching them, the evolved ones. So it's, yeah. And for your boyfriend, when you're entangled with someone, you're picking up on their vibration all the time. This is why feng shui works, because when you set the field, you're in touch with your field that you're living in, and you take that field with you. So it's fields of energy that are communicating with us. So there's a whole science of right brain understanding. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're really going to cover this right brain and non-linear. It's amazing. And if they can visit our planet and watch us, then we should be able to visit their planets. Adam Apollo's done a huge study on this, where he's taken people to different planets. They've seen what they've seen, and then he's put the information together. So this is gonna be extraordinary. The amount of bonding that happens in 8 weeks with a small group is absolutely, you're gonna know these people probably for the rest of your lives. We had someone in the chat just say, like, yeah, they had some ET contact dreams, and they're the ones that they have stayed with them longest. So right. If this is the experience economy and you want to have a life-changing experience, then this is your chance to do it this summer. So July 4th is, we're starting on the day after July 4th. And it's going to be amazing. So I'm going to talk a little bit briefly about what my session is going to be on. We're going to be doing radios. So this is Jimmy Blanchette's methodology using ham radios. He's been doing this contact method for 5 years, and we've established a lot of research. We're getting yes, no answers. I want to share a really quick video. We went up to Bradshaw Ranch with Arcturus Ra the other day, last month. And so I would just want to show this video. Let me stop sharing and make sure I shared the audio. Here we go.
rephrase. They want us to ask questions. Yeah, so.
The time of the month we should come out here.
Yes.
End of the month?
Or ask about the moon.
Or is it
What is it now? It's a new moon right now. This is the night that we do CE5s for the entire country because of that.
I feel totally warped.
Dude, they're answering questions.
Answering questions
yes,
nicely.
no.
Yeah.
They're clapping. That's a clap. 4 is clap. 1 is yes. 2 is no. 3 is rephrase. 1, 2, 3. They're asking to ask a question.
They want us to ask a question.
So are there beings around us? Yes.
No,
That's
that
a
was
no.
no.
Yeah.
Are there clapping? Okay. Are there interdimensionals around us?
Rephrase.
1, 2, 3. Rephrase. Yeah. See, sometimes we don't even know the right words. 1, 2, 3. Rephrase. They're so excited to talk to us right now.
Yes,
That's
they
clapping.
are. Yes, they
That's
are.
clapping. So,
Is
is there Sasquatch here right now? 1, 2, 3. Rephrase.
Squashies, are they here?
Are the squashies here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, that's a clapping.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3. What's that?
Sabe is another word for
1, 2, 3, 4. Clapping. Sabe.
Sabe. Okay. Sabe and squashies.
1, 2, 3, 4. Clapping. Okay.
Well, this is a code.
Full conversation, I know.
Yeah, this is a code. This is they're telling us something.
And one day we'll know what it means.
That's what I'm getting.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to be. Sorry.
This is
Wow. I didn't know you developed an actual translatable language. I didn't know that, Zink. I thought you just beep. So you've interpreted these. That's incredible. That no one has done that. Not Jimmy Blanchett or anybody. I don't think you've translated the alien language.
Yeah, we Daniel's done it too. So we started with the 1358 Dragon group, area 1358, and we tried the multiple choice. Then they did it, and then all of a sudden,
Well, your sound has just gone down, Zinka.
Oh, okay.
At least on my computer.
Can you hear me now?
No, it's still down a little bit. I don't know why. You just
Oh,
did
okay.
you? Maybe
I
it's
don't
my.
know.
All right, maybe it's my computer.
So Daniel, so Daniel's done it. My son's done it. I just cut a documentary, and if you go to number 11, minute 11, you'll be able to see the interactions that we've had. So in my small group, everyone's gonna get the radios, and we're gonna continue to experiment with this technique. It's pretty amazing. So I just wanted to talk about so Alan, what was your first remote viewing experience where you were just like, wow?
Well, you can see it actually. It's online. It's Russell Targ sitting with him in his house in Stanford in Palo Alto, and he says, "I have an object in my pocket that you've never seen before. The idea is, can you tune in and tell me what's there?" And it's like, all right, I'll try. And it's not about guessing. If you guess, that's your left brain. But if you tune in and let the image come, and the idea is you don't want to identify it. So I got this shape, and I said, oh, it must be a plant. You see, the left brain wants to label things, and the right brain wants to just describe it. So it's not about labeling or putting a name or figuring it out. It's about living in the abstract. It's about adjectives, not nouns. Adjectives and verbs, not nouns that concretize the world. That's left brain. That's measurement. In quantum physics, if you measure the particle, it's different than the velocity. We don't want to measure or name anything. Naming limits us. Movement frees us. We want to be the wave, not the particle. Like like Adrian channeling and dreaming. It's being the wave, being the fluid motion of time space. That's the key. So that's what
Yeah,
I want to
and
be.
it's like that's so cool because you really have to practice getting in that right brain. And it's so funny because when you're dreaming, you're just already knocked out. You know, you're like your subconscious that wants to hold on to everything is just like totally already knocked out. Adrian, what happens to your brain when you channel?
Well, I really like Alan's analogy to the internet. Like, if you didn't know there was an internet and somebody gave you the internet, you would totally like freak out, right? It's sort of like that. So, what happens when you channel? It's like you tap into the internet.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can see, you can hear, you can sense. I mean, I feel it in my body so strong. It feels like I put my fingers in a light socket. For those of you who check out some of my channelings, you'll see that I'm almost like twitching a little bit because it feels like I'm in this energetic tornado, and it's like packets of information come in, and then naturally my body translates them into words. So it's like you're drinking through the fire hose, and as you build that connection bigger and bigger and bigger, the more information flows, more energy flows. You get to like a bigger part of that internet, and it's very much like that. So the experience of what it's like, it's you sort of first you tune out, you calm down, you calm your nerves, and then you start to bring in that connection. And I call it light, but light is information, right? You start to bring in this information, and you start to fill your body with it until suddenly there's like a connection made. So the way that it's explained to me is there's vibrational signatures, vibrational information, and you start to raise your vibration. They start to maybe lower their vibration until there's a match. And once these two things sync, suddenly they can use you like a telephone to speak to somebody else, or they can stream into your mind, almost like a movie, like you're there suddenly, and you can see it, you can talk back to them. It's a totally different thing. It's almost hard to describe, but it is a really beautiful experience. So it's like suddenly you're meditating, and then boom, a whole world opens up. Your guides or the beings are in front of you, and you can start to talk to them, and they can talk to you. And in that special state, you can bring through anything. You can bring through any business idea. You can resolve the problems you have in your relationship, in your life. You can really go deep and figure out who you really are. Because the moment you get connected to the internet, as Alan says, you have a pretty big question in front of you, right? Like, what is going on here? It's a very different thing. And in some ways, I built technology companies my entire sort of adult career here, and the internet is like a bridge to these concepts. We really have gone from riding horses a couple hundred years ago to spaceships, and the way that we think about stuff is just totally expanded. And it's very similar when you begin to channel, right? It's like, well, if this is possible, what else is possible? So you really very, very quickly, my experience, you start to move to it's almost a spiritual thing. It's like, okay, well, yes, there's beings, yes, there's life that continues on, yes, there's this whole creative landscape of creation. What's really going on there? And these are the kind of questions that I think everyone starts to naturally ask once you have that experience. And I think that's why you see those results of people just suddenly healing, their life changing, suddenly they're just like, they're happy, because you start to answer those big, big questions. And that's a big part of the experience, right? Is being able to finally start to get some answers that you can't get anywhere else. And as far as it feels in the body, you feel it in the body. You feel that energy running through your veins. You feel it running through your energetic system. It's a very unique feeling. I've never felt anything like it. And yeah, and how you use it, it's up to you. We're going to do verbal channeling. in ours. So we're going to first begin to connect to our guides and actually like see them and talk to them. And we're going to make that a practice that we do, sort of a meditation, connect with our guides, our star family, and get to know them. And then the rest is to try to let go of the fear of letting it come out, right? Let them speak through you to somebody else. And I think that's something that's like very, very healing for you and for other people.
Wow. Yeah. It's going to be such an incredible class. You know, I know from what you've taught me and what I've learned about channeling, it's like, it really is a profound energetic shift in your body. And sometimes I'm in a business call and I just go into a channel. I'm like, whoa, thanks for the help. You know,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's like
once you're connected and you're not alone. You know, you have higher parts of yourself and you have friends. And you know, they're super excited. They're, you know, the moment that you can talk with them, well, there's a conversation to be had, you know.
Yeah. So with Alan's like deep intuition, with tapping into your deepest intuition and being able to, okay, this person's going to call me, this bookshelf is going to fall, you know, all that stuff is going to really enhance your life. And then being able to channel is also such an incredible thing. And then Daniel taught me how to remember my dreams. I swear to God, I did not remember. I would remember 3 dreams in my whole life. I was in a dream circle. I had to make up a dream because I had no dreams to share. I couldn't remember any of them. Daniel taught me how to remember my dreams. I remember every single night. I mean, like out of 7 nights, one day I won't remember. But so Daniel, talk about your ET dreams. You're so ET, it's like not even funny. So it's like so great that you're here to help people unlock this massive other gate that we have. Talk about how it works.
Oh, yeah. So I've had dreams that now I understand to be something like ET dreams or connection with non-human intelligence. Since when I was a kid, I have actually not been making sense of that until I understood these components around eco-psychology and the role of dreaming within intact dreaming cultures. And we may look to the indigenous and things like that, but really setting it within the context of being a dreamer for the community. That's one of the roles we see dreamers in these intact shamanic dreaming cultures. And in that way, they have a natural role of mediating the human and non-human world. And when it's set within this context of dreaming for the benefit of the self and the community, and that's really the thing that grounds this, it really grounds all of this dreamlike experiences. Oftentimes dream experiences are highly challenging, and that's one of the things that I've discovered in this work. We see these dreamlike experiences that are often understood to be like alien abductions and things like that, and that's something we'll actually talk about, because when we look to see what does it actually mean to dream well, and this is an inquiry I have because I have a mobile app named Dreamwell that's helping you dream well. What does it actually mean? It turns out that the definition of dreaming well for us is to be mindfully present with the dream and the experience for the benefit of the self and the community. That's really what it is. What that might look like actually through the science is this heightened difference, like in your dreams, when you're dreaming well and you have correlative changes in peace of mind and well-being in the waking life, you actually have heightened states of positive emotionality and heightened states of negative emotionality. And so in this dream experience, you can navigate both dualities and you can really ground that into the purpose of what dreaming is, which is relating to all of these different worlds and things like that. So that's really what we're doing and why we're doing it. If you're inspired to explore this path, it's likely because the dream paths are open to you to do that. And it's even if you don't remember your dreams, it's important to know that like you have like 3 to 4 dreams every night that generally you can remember your dreams if you desire to. The same thing is with lucid dreaming. If you desire to and you practice the induction techniques, lucid dreaming really does happen. And so I think as a society, it's really important for us to engage with dreaming from multiple different perspectives, primarily because dreaming serves as like this archetype for contact with a bizarre world, right? So I think the final thing I'll point out about dreaming and ET dreaming is dreaming is this is a hypothesis I'm putting forward. This is a thesis that dreaming is the archetype for ET contact experiences, primarily when we look to the high strangeness factors of ET contact in waking life, right, are very corresponded with the high bizarreness factors of REM dreams. So in REM dreams, everyone says, oh my God, it's so bizarre. About 75% of REM dreams are highly bizarre, and they use the same type of words to describe that high strangeness phenomena. I like telepathy, things bilocating, physics working different ways. And then when we also consider that we don't remember our dreams, that's very, very similar to the missing time phenomena associated with ET contact. And so we go, okay, well, why don't we study this thing that happens every night that involves missing time, that we know about 8% of those dreams actually are something like psionic dreams. This is from a representative sample. They're exotic dreams, meaning they're lucid, they're shared, they're telepathic, they're visitation dreams. So 8% of our normal dreams are actually exotic. We don't remember them. They bring us into contact with the non-human world. Oftentimes, like I said, the 6.5% of people have reported having ET dreams. So it's like, what's going on here? Let's explore that. And my hypothesis here is that when we dive deeply into the dreaming world, they will actually reveal to us that our life here in the waking world is something like a dream. And when we develop the capacities to mindfully enter the dream state and remember the dream state, we're actually developing the capacities to enter into the dreamlike experiences we are having in terms of ET contact in the waking experience. And in that way, we may experience a kind of physicalized actually experience during our waking life when we dive into the dreams. I've had this happen to me. There's synchronicities that emerge, and all sorts of things come up and out of that. So that's really what we're about in this dream group. Yeah.
Well, that is revolutionary, Daniel. What you're saying is like when we get in touch with the dream reality, we become multidimensional. We realize that we exist in many realms. That explains channeling, remote viewing. That's the greater capacity of the mind. And we've been so brainwashed, Zinka, to think that the mind is contained in the brain. The brain is a receiver and sender of signal. It's not in there. It's like a radio, you know, the radio picks up a signal, but you open up the radio, you're not going to find musicians in there, you know. It's like, right? So the brain is sending and receiving this signal from a non-local world that's interpenetrating us every minute. And we've been so conditioned in the matrix to say, this is you, this is my thoughts, this is, you know, you look through this really narrow hole in the wall, as like William Blake said, if the doors of perception were cleansed, we would see everything as they are, unlimited. So it's like we have to, it's wide, our dream world, and this is what the Aborigines, you know, Daniel, I studied with the Aborigines Dreamtime. I went to Australia, and they say, this is how you do it. You start to fall asleep, and you're watching your mind fall asleep, but you notice when you're no longer in control of the images. Like, you can imagine things, so we're forcing ourselves to imagine, not forcing, but you project. And then when you start to enter the dream time, which is sort of their religion, the images just come. And if you can observe that, then you're in the dream time, and you can ask questions and get answers and sort of channel in that way. So it's
yeah, I thought, you know, Daniel, that was like so awesome how you explained it. And there's something that I noticed too, you know, when you see somebody sleep in the dreaming, right? Their eyes are almost fluttering a little bit when they're in that REM state. Channeling's like that too. You're there, and it's funny. It almost feels like suddenly your eyes start fluttering. You start to see things. You start to hear things. It's a very similar state. And I think, I mean, I would love to take your class because I think it would be so much fun. I've had a couple very profound dreams after this opening that's happened to me. And it is something that you can have the most incredible experiences when you're dreaming, and they're, you know, in my opinion, not dreams. I very, very powerful way to connect, for sure.
And I think that that's really what Lightnet and what we're all doing here is all about, is lucid living, right? We have the opportunity to bring magic to this world in the here and now. And it's more possible when we can understand how it works over there. Because when we die and we go to the other side, we're going to be able to think things and they appear, right? It's slower here. Otherwise, this would be a huge mess more than it is right now, right? Because our thoughts would just be there and be like, whoops, I didn't want that. Well, it's here, right?
Right.
So as Adrian said, this 8 weeks is going to open it's going to open the internet pipe bigger, right?
In different ways, right? But it's the same pipe.
Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's like, you know, Alan's going to give you an entire all signal. It's going to let you be both in this world, in that world. And he's going to talk a lot about lucid dreaming as well. I'm going to be literally connecting you with the radio that's a radio, right? Your brain's a radio antenna, but you're also going to figure out this, right? And I just want to share again how to sign up. And then I want to have one round.
Before you do that, I just want to comment what all four of us are doing is actually going to the level that the ETs exist on and communicating from their sphere. Like when I give my lectures, I say when you're talking to a lower life form like your dog, you're not going to bark at them in order to direct you. We're talking from the higher level of languaging and communication, which is what we're all trying to get people to realize, that we don't have to speak to them in our language. We can rise to the occasion and speak to them on the level that they exist and they communicate on.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because we all, at the end of the day, we're advanced beings, and so we can do that.
We're not barking at the aliens. No. Yes.
Right. So when you go to this lightnet.org, make ET contact, you can find it in the about menu or on the homepage. You're going to find all of the courses here, right? These experiences. They all start on July 5th. They all run for 8 weeks. We're going to form teams and we're going to meet up together with all of our teams at the beginning and the end, right? This is what you're going to learn. You're going to find all these these are the syllabuses that we're going to go over. And this is going to be right for you. There's also, you know, a video here to watch. This is going to be right for you if you are curious about ET contact and you want to have a physical experience that you take with you for the rest of your life. This course is right for you if you want to guide others to do this, right? Once you take the course, then you're going to be certified to guide others. And the idea is just to, you know, we'll have 4 this time. Maybe we'll have 8 next time, right? So if you want to lead a group, get in there so you can see how it works and then keep going. And it's a great way to make an extra income for yourself as you work. You still work your other jobs and just do this, right? Because this is important work and this is important revelation. So as we close, I just want to circle around everyone. Why should people feel that they can do it? And you know what I mean? Like, I want to leave this with an encouraging note, because all of you have told me, you know, anybody can do this stuff. And I can tell you, anybody can do these. You know, my 8-year-old son can get them to respond. Grandmothers can get them to respond. You don't have to be technical. It's going to be really great. And we're going to teach each other in our group, and we're going to share our research. It's going to be super fun. So Alan, you want to talk about yours and just say a welcome to anybody who might be on the fence. What would you say to them in this moment? Because these groups are going to fill up fast. So this is your chance. If you're thinking about it, sign up today, because the spaces are going. So
this what we're all offering here, I feel, is not so much talking about to ETs or about it, or it's about learning more of who we are as human beings, the human capacity. We've been so brainwashed and conditioned to think very, very small. And what all of us are doing is say, no, we are big. We are unlimited. We are part of the cosmos that's talking to us every single moment through some vehicle, channeling, dreaming, radios, or remote. And we've closed down, due to our conditioning, those parts of us that receive these cosmic messages. And of course, there's great psychics and intuitives, and listen to Adrian's channeling, but most of us don't think it's possible because we've been given the wrong set of rules. The real rule is we are unlimited, we are infinite, we are forever, and we have access to all realities. And when you learn some of my process or any of these, you get an intuition. Oh, maybe I'll walk down the street here, and then you run into someone you haven't seen in a long time. You start to trust the intuitive hunches. So it's like when you're in touch with your dreams, you let your dreams direct you, or you're opening this channel. So it's really about becoming more human in a multidimensional way, which is really what I said before, what the ETs want us to do if we're going to meet them on an even playing field. So join us and meet the ETs on an even playing field.
Daniel, what would you like to say to people before we close?
Oh yeah, I would actually invite people, if they are feeling a sense of intuition or being drawn to this experience, to really do follow that. One of the things I say in my hypnosis practice, and I do deal with the missing time abduction phenomenon, things like that. People are scared sometimes of ET contact and things like that. If this is actually coming up for you, your whole self has already passed the test. Like, you've already passed the test if the intuitions are coming up for you, if the memories or whatever, or curiosity is arising. That means your whole self, your heart, believes that you can integrate the experience and have the journey. This is, again, a revolutionary thing to say. I know a lot of times MUFON has said, oh, don't look into those dreams, that might just leave them just as dreams. I say, actually, if you can even think about these dreams, that means your whole self really wants you to integrate this and bring this to the forefront. So do so. So that's from the one side of the brain. From the other side of the brain, I do want to cite some literature, some scientific literature in terms of if you're on the fence as to whether or not this can work. So as part of the DSETI research proposal, the Dream Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, I went to see if I can quantify the probabilities of contact through dreams using the most conservative estimates put out. And I've looked to the rate of lucid dream incubation, success rates, lucid intent rates, also in terms of how many times people remember dreams, and how there's also these about 36 studies with dream telepathy that has been kind of reduced down through meta-analysis. So I took all of these rates and I calculated based on the most conservative rates in peer-reviewed literature as to how many times psionic dreams happen, so telepathic dreams, and all of these things. Based on those rates, I'm estimating there will be 10 psionic contacts with extraterrestrial beings directly as understood in the explicit way that you expect, and this is, again, based on scientific stuff that's reported in the literature. These are rates that other scientists have put forward. I just added them up in a very simple formula, the most conservative way possible. And so that really does show that there'll be 10 at least contact experiences. That's my estimate. That's my hypothesis. I actually think it'll be an order of magnitude more, but this is based upon stuff that's gone through peer-reviewed publication process. I'm just adding up all the rates together, and you can get that info at dseti.org if you wanted to see how I calculate that and get to those references. So again, there's
a small group. You think there's going to be a minimum of 10 dreams in your small group?
Absolutely, yeah. Based on the rate of 8 people dreaming over 8 weeks, 3 to 4 dreams remembered a week, about 50% like lucid intent rates, and then you reduce those each step when we go like, okay, how about telepathic contact? How about contact with ETs? But about 10 based on that estimate.
Wow, cool. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't think that every single person that signed up for these experiences are going to have ET contact. In fact, we're banking Lightnet on this statistics. So, and I believe in us four to do this. I feel like we're going to have 100% success. Adrian, what do you have to say to close here?
Yeah, I'm a believer in this 100% success rate as well. Like Alan was saying, and like Daniel's saying, it's all around us, whether it's through dreams or whether it's we have a vision, or whether we get to the point where we're verbally channeling down people's guides. It's something is amazing that is going to happen. And there's just no way in 8 weeks that you're really asking for it, you're going for it, that you don't have something magical sort of, happen in your life. And, as far as for the channel course that I'm putting together, I'm giving you the most powerful method that I know. And, it is going to bring through that internet. And we're going to try very hard to take a really good look at what's coming through, to see it. I think it's going to be pretty amazing. So, and the people that I've worked with, it's been very, very successful as far as people connecting with their guides, getting messages, seeing visions. I think everyone's going to have that experience. And I think the methodology that we're putting together to take that and to bring through a message for another person is going to work. And I'm very excited about it. Yeah. It's something that we all have these abilities. It's just really about accepting it and letting it be true. Right. Because as Alan was referring to, this limited programming is very effective. Right. We think the world is a certain way and we have to do this and to do that. And, it's just, my humble opinion is just not true. Right. So there's no, you can do whatever you want in this world. Now, if you want a channel, let's go do it. Right. So.
Right. Well,
all right, you guys, and as a bonus, remember when you sign up for our inaugural groups, you're also going to get a year-long subscription to Lightnet. One of the people we're going to have in August is Rachel Firebug. Healing Prayer Commands is her new book. It's going to teach you how to completely reprogram your subconscious mind. She's going to be doing a workshop that's going to be members only. So once again, when you sign up for this course, you're going to get a year-long set of workshops, plus all the archives of a year and a half of stuff. So yeah, we look forward to seeing you in our families, our 4 families that we're growing from the beginning. And congratulations on your curiosity. You are the leaders that we've been waiting for.
And it's ongoing. If you can't make it this week, we're going to do it again until... this is a mystery school, really, what we're creating here. A mystery school, an alien ET contact mystery school. So,
welcome to the future today.
Good to see you, Adrian. And
great to see all of you. Thank you, Zenka, for putting it together.
Talk, Daniel. We'll do an interview about old dreams. I'm always been fascinated. So, thanks, Zenka.
Okay, bye, guys.